years after the end of the Civil War, a 1,000-mile cattle trail stretched from the plains of Texas to the railroad depots in Kansas. For 90 grueling days, through dust, heat, flies, loneliness, cowboys pushed Texas cattle northward along the Abilene Trail at an average speed of 3/4 of a mile an hour toward Abilene, Kansas, where raw-bred southern beef could be turned into hard eastern cash. Abilene was the end of the trail, the end of the trailhand's 1,000-mile, 90-day-long boredom.
What kind of a town is this? Not a saloon on that side of the street.
Just wasted. Nothing but stalls. Come on.
Across the prairie, I hate to hear the coyote's nightly song. I hate the sound of 6 guns that they carry. It's much too hot in summertime, it's much too cold in winter. But listen, mister, please don't get me wrong. I love it out here in the West, because the West is best for loving. When the stars are shining and the moon is low, you'll find me out with my Romeo. Back east I was always repressed. That's why I love it out in the West. I love it out here in the West, because the life is free and easy. You can do most anything you doggone please. There's room to stretch.
Sorry, Rita.
Why aren't you in church with the storekeepers?
I was. See that sign there, mister? We've only got 2 little laws here. Don't break 'em, friend. Her singing sounds better anyway if you don't shoot at it. Oh!
I hate the everlasting smell of cattle. I hate the flies that buzz around my head. I hate the sound of rattlers when they rattle. It's much too far from home, sweet home. It's hard to be a lady. But listen, mister, please don't be misled. I love it out here in the West, because the life is free and easy. You can do most anything you doggone please. There's room to stretch and there's room to breathe. I'm just brimming over with zest, because I love it out in the West.
Wonder Rita didn't slug you. She works too hard at being mean, Charlie. Real meanness comes natural.
Guess he got past my boys without being seen.
Getting to be a habit. Watch it.
Aren't thinking of closing me up, are you?
I wouldn't want to.
The merchants across the street wouldn't let you. No saloons, no trail herds. No trail herds, and the merchants starved to death.
White as rain, Charlie.
Then what do you want? Because if it's Rita, maybe I can fix it up for you. Keep out. This is private. I'll just put that on the bill. Anything else?
There's nothing I want from you, Charlie, except what's on those signs. Only honorary women can get away with that, mister.
Shooting off guns during church services? Other side of the street's getting out of hand again. What was that shooting we heard?
Custom at the Pride got a little too enthusiastic, that's all.
Rambling out the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. He has loosed the faithful lightning of his terrible quick sword. His truth is...
Carry their church with them, don't they?
Looking for you, Boulder.
Hello, Mr. Riger. Welcome back to Abilene. Nice trip north?
Not bad. Here's a list of the stuff we'll need in the morning. Too bad to make you work on Sunday, but since you're doing it for me and you've already said your prayers, maybe you'll be forgiven.
The Lord is very understanding.
My boys are in for a fling at the Honey Pots. Maybe a little rough, but it's all in fun.
Town's open, Captain.
Marshall's got nothing to do. Maybe he'll give you a hand with my stuff. See ya.
They have builded him an altar in the...
You homesteaders got no place in town here. And stay off that trail, a long way off of it. This is cattle country, and it's going to stay cattle country.
Sherry needs some help on this.
All right, Father.
Go after it, Jip. This is one of my men.
He went for his gun first.
And the deal was crooked.
I won't wrestle with these dogs. I got one more bullet left.
We'll take care of you right now. Boys, break up.
You wouldn't be happy buried 1,000 miles from home. Walk out ahead of me.
That man's a murderer.
What's your boy doing with a gun in his hand? Get going, George.
Where's the music? Hit the bar, boys. Everything's on the house. You bought chips, Marshal. A couple of weeks, we'll be back. You be here. Because there'll be no guns checked, and we'll tear this crooked, cheating town apart and spread the pieces from here to the Texas border.
I'll be here, Riker. Break it up, boys. Show's over. Go on over to the jail and lock yourself up. I'll be over and let you out when Riker leaves town.
What are you after, Dan? Why don't you let this town shoot it out and die?
There are people in it.
What kind? You think anybody in this town has any solution for it?
Maybe not.
That's a weakness of an honest marshal. Got too doggone much pride.
Maybe.
Odds are wrong, Dan. Unless you got a whole card up your sleeve.
Yeah.
Only friends you got are on the wrong side of the street.
Slim, you stay here in town.
We'll tear this town apart, he says.
Only chance we got is to keep Riker satisfied.
Riker's no cowhand to be slugged with a gun. We want a marshal to keep us in good with Riker, not a killer. Mitchell's got to get off his high horse.
Need any help, Ed? Remember, Riker suggested I give you a hand.
Guess I better be getting along.
Me too. Of all the people in that saloon, you had to knock out the brains of the most influential cattleman on the trail.
He's the only one bothered.
What else could Dan have done? Let him kill a man in cold blood?
Likely Cap Riker was just shooting off his mouth.
Bobby, there's something you've overlooked. See that pretty little star?
And who put it there?
You did. With instructions to keep this town peaceful and not let trail hands and saloon keepers get out of hand.
But I didn't tell him to drive business away. What chance did we have if Fair and Riker decided to get along without any merchants here? All this trouble over one no-count gambler.
I see. If there's any killing to be done, Dan just sees to it it's done pleasantly. Is that it?
Now, Sherry, let's go back. 4 months ago, he didn't have a dime. The drought had killed off half his cattle, and he needed a job. Is that right?
Right.
And as town supervisor, I appointed him marshal.
Still right.
Well, does that give me the right to ask him to watch his step or not?
Father, what do you want Dan to do?
Well, I thought maybe if he went to Cap Riker and explained it was all a mistake, maybe apologize.
Apologize to Riker. In 24 hours, trail hands will sweep across Texas Street and shoot into your parlor windows just to hear the women scream.
Are you trying to frighten me?
Trying to remind you why you got a marshal, Ed. If you're nothing but a wood tick hanging on to a trail town, you're a lost cause.
I suppose you'd like to see me close up.
No, I'd like to see you buck up, Ed, and not let them know how weak you feel. There may be another kind of business here for you soon.
You starting on homesteaders again? They haven't a chance of surviving. Maybe I'd rather do business with homesteaders than with cattlemen. But I'm not going to be wiped out for my likes and dislikes. I'm not proud. I've got to compromise. And what I've got to do, you've got to do, too.
Then you better get yourself another marshal, Ed. Nothing makes me feel cheap when wearing a star don't mean anything.
Now, wait a minute, Dan. Now you're getting mad. You're marshal.
I'm marshal. Not even an hour late today.
Dan, I think you're right. You should resign.
How'd you know I was here?
I always know where you are.
No, I'm not resigning. I was only trying to put some steel in there.
You didn't succeed. You never will.
Never's a long time.
Howdy, folks. Here you had a little trouble down at the fry today, Dan.
Oh, nothing important. I understand you filed for re-election next fall, Bravo.
Talked me into it. Figured on opening up a saloon or maybe going back to practicing dentistry. But somebody's got to keep law and order in the county.
Law and order. Why don't you try helping Dan around here?
That wouldn't be fair, ma'am. I run the county, Dan runs the town. Besides, me and Dan don't always see eye to eye.
Now, Bravo, I thought we were old friends.
We are, Dan, we are. But you got the idea you ought to kick up a fuss about things that are bound to happen anyway. I don't figure that way. A man's got to live. Cows get lost. Sometimes accidents happen and fellers get killed. Why get hot under the collar about it? And why go hunting for fellers that don't want to be found? Here she comes.